Okay. All right. So remember now, when we're talking about vocabulary, when we're talking about vocabulary, remember our vocabulary needs to be a schematic. It needs to be a mind map. Okay. It needs to be a mind map. So if we knew, for example, if we think that animals is a subject which will appear in the exam, it's no good to write down a list of animals. What we need to do is write down groups of animals. So we might say, for example, carnivorous animals. There's an example, carnivorous animals. So if I say, can you think of some carnivorous animals and write them down in the chat box, please? Carnivores, okay? Carnivores. Write down the names of some carnivores in the chat box quickly. Just one each person, please. Names of tiger, lion. That's it. Only tiger and lion. Come on, a few more. Bear, wolf. Yeah, black panther, fox, hippopotamus, hippopom. I never heard of this. Maria Angeles, a hippopom. Okay. A cat, a bear, leopard, shark, snake, yeah, eagle, very good. Okay, so we're getting a little bit more complex. Dolphins, okay, of course they eat fish, don't they? Yes. Crocodile, dogs, whales, fox, vulture is a good one. Another good one, vulture. Okay, what about animals? What about animals which are bigger than you? Animals which are bigger than you. Cow, elephant, pig is bigger than you. Maybe it's a big pig and you're small. Giraffes, bear, horse, a llama. Yeah, a llama. A whale again. A lion, camel, bear, cow. Okay, good. What about animals which we see at the circus? Animals which we see at the circus. Bear, tiger, dogs, elephants, monkeys, camels, a horse, snakes. Yeah, maybe a lion, a hippo at the circus. At the circus, maybe. People. Okay, there's the most common animal at the circus, Jimena. That's good. And the monkey and so on. Okay. And a parrot. Okay. That's a nice one. Yep. What about animals which you know they're there, but normally you don't see them? So animals which we normally don't see, and we know maybe they're at home or in your home or nearby. You might hear them, but you don't see them very often. What kind of animals? Mosquito, spider, lions? You don't see lions, Angelica? Okay, spider, an owl. Yeah. Snake, yeah. Squirrel, there's a good one. A mouse, ants, Any others which are similar to ants? Cockroach. Ugh, yeah, cockroach. A silverfish, which is an insect. A bee, a fly. Okay, that's fine, Angelica. Thank you. Yeah, good. Okay, very good. And then if we look here at our list, again, we could make those groups of animals, groups which are bigger than people, animals which are dangerous for people, animals which eat meat, animals which don't eat meat, animals which you don't normally see. What about some cartoon characters then? Tell me the names of some cartoon characters, please. Cartoon characters. Tell me. If you can think of one, just say it. The name of a cartoon character. Hornet. Sorry. The Green Hornet. That's a good one, isn't it? Yeah. The Tasmanian Devil. There we go. Peppa Pig, Tasmanian Devil, the Rabbit, Mickey Mouse, Coyote. Yeah, they're funny. Yeah, they're funny, aren't they? The Green Hornet, Piolin. What a Piolin? You mean Piolin? What's the name in English? Tweety Pie. Okay, Tweety Pie is Piolin, of course. Yeah. The Roadrunner, Pluto, Tom and Jerry, Peppa Pig. Yeah, of course. That's great. Okay. Paw Patrol. Okay, the Paw Patrol. Yep, it's good. Simba the lion, Itchy and Scratchy. Angelica, but Itchy and Scratchy aren't really characters, are they? Itchy and Scratchy. Good, from The Simpsons. Yep. Anything else? Bugs Bunny. Yep. What about the Pato Lucas? What's his name in English? Blue. Bluey. That's a very yep. That's a very new one from Australia. Duck. But what's the name of the Pato Lucas? What kind of duck? We've got Donald Duck, of course. We've got Mickey Mouse and Minnie. But what about the Pato Lucas? That's not Donald Duck. That's Daffy Duck. Yeah, Daffy Duck. Excellent. Okay. Good. There we are. So we got some cartoon characters. Can you use a cartoon character when you're speaking or writing? Of course you can. Yes, of course you can. Okay. Good. What about animals which are used then for transporting people or goods? Tweety Pie. Okay. Sorry. Should be Tweety. Yeah, Tweety Pie. Okay. Animals which are used for transporting like horse. Yep. Camel. A dromedary, but hold on, in English, we have a camel or we have a dromedary camel. They're both camels, okay? Donkey, elephant, oxen, excellent, oxen, or ox if it's singular, oxen. Remember, ox is what's ox in Spanish? Like a big cow, a husky, a reindeer,
Buey.
a boy.
Oxen.
Okay, good.
Wait,
So ox,
wait.
okay, ox, which is the boy, and oxen if it's plural. Okay, reindeer, llama, dolphins. They take, of course they do. Dolphins can take messages. Yeah, they can. Llama, I don't know. I didn't know you could ride a donkey, of course, a donkey. Yeah, very good. Good. What about animals which are used in laboratory experiments? Okay. Rats, Cobaya, you mean a guinea pig, a mouse, hamster, rabbit, monkeys. Yeah, monkeys as well. Yeah, monkeys. True. Okay, and which animals are really clever, do you think? Which animals are really clever? Fox, yeah. Monkey, dog, parrot, octopus. Octopus is really clever. Okay, a
Yes,
chimpanzee.
according to the last researches.
Okay, octopus. Okay, whales. That's interesting. Whales. Cats, really clever. Oh, crows. Yeah, those big black birds. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. And a whale killer? No, you mean a killer whale. Okay, sorry. Excuse me. You mean a killer whale, which is a big black and white whale, isn't it? Yep, black and white, and also called an orca. An orca, it's a killer whale, and pigs. Yeah, good. Okay, nice. So we got the idea to create now what you can do this week or next week when Louise tells you the subjects which we're going to do in the exam. You can make some lists, not lists, you can make some maps with different groups, okay, so that you can remember. I don't know exactly what the topics are. It's a secret. She won't tell me, but she just got them this morning. So it'll be very interesting. So work on your vocabulary, please. Work on your vocabulary, because sometimes I can see that you're using vocabulary in your writing, and it's very, very good. But sometimes I think you're using vocabulary that you're looking for in a dictionary. Okay. So in that case, it's excellent because that's a very good way to learn new vocabulary. But also, you need to make sure that you know how to use it. Okay. Okay. So let's continue now. Let's continue. And we're going to do just a little bit. We're going to do a reading exercise, and then we're going to do, we're going to do a listening exercise, and then we're going to do two reading exercises, three reading exercises. Okay. So it's strange because a number of you have said that you want more reading practice. So we'll do that together. Okay. So first of all, oh dear. Okay, we're going to have a little dictation. A little dictation. Pigeons. Thank you, Angelica. Angelica's being really clever today because she's writing in crows, killer whale, pigs, and pigeons. I'm not sure if it is all Angelica. Okay, but you got extra points. Okay, then. So, you need a piece of paper, please. You need a piece of paper. And you need a pencil or a pen. So I'm going to read to you. Okay. It's not very difficult. Okay, here we are. So you're going to listen to an article about a famous cartoon character. You will hear it
Joshua, are
twice.
we going to listen? Oh, okay. That was my answer.
So you're going to listen to me. Okay. So there's a dictation activity. So we're going to listen to an article about a famous cartoon character. So I want you to listen the first time, and then the second time you can write it down. Okay? So, take Peppa Pig, a British cartoon about 4-year-old Peppa Pig and her family. There's younger brother George, Mummy Pig, Granny Pig, Grandpa Pig, and Daddy Pig. Peppa's classmates are cats, dogs, sheep, zebras, elephants, and ponies. Her teacher is a gazelle. It's the greatest multicultural school of all time. At 5 minutes an episode, there is little room for cliffhangers or plot twists. In Windy Castle, the pigs get lost on the way because Daddy Pig is rubbish at navigating. In Daddy Pig Puts Up a Picture, Daddy Pig knocks a giant hole in the wall because he is rubbish at DIY. Each episode ends with everybody rolling around on the floor. Okay? So, take Peppa Pig, a British cartoon about 4-year-old Peppa Pig and her family.
Can you say smaller sentences, please?
This is the practice which we want to do today, okay? There's younger brother George, Mummy Pig, Granny Pig, Grandpa Pig, and Daddy Pig. Peppa's classmates are cats, dogs, sheep, zebras, elephants, and ponies. Her teacher is a gazelle. It's the greatest multicultural school of all time. at 5 minutes an episode, there is little room for cliffhangers or plot twists. In Windy Castle, the pigs get lost on the way. Because Daddy Pig is rubbish at navigating. In Daddy Pig puts up a picture, Daddy Pig knocks a giant hole in the wall. Because he is rubbish at DIY. Each episode ends with everybody rolling around on the floor. Okay. I'm going to write in the chat box. I'm just going to write some words. Okay. Just in case you missed them. Okay. So here's some words which you might find useful in the chat box. Oh, okay. Sorry, Eduardo. Okay. Right. Here's some words. Classmates. Okay. Hmm. cliffhangers, plot twists, gazelle, and I think that's it, actually. I think the rest were very easy words, okay? But classmates, cliffhangers, plot twists, and gazelle, possibly, okay? And of course, we've got this expression in English, which is repeated twice, is rubbish at. Okay? If you're rubbish at doing something. Very, very good expression, okay? Which means you do something very badly. Okay, let's check then. So check the text with yours. Okay, so how was it? Any comments? Any problems, specific problems about this? Any comments?
Was
Some of
very
it,
easy.
Sorry?
It wasn't very easy.
It was very easy. Yeah.
No, it wasn't very
Oh, it wasn't
easy.
very easy. Okay, all right, fair enough. Yep, good. Okay. I wonder because it was long, and maybe some of the sentences were quite long. Um, but I think the words mummy pig, granny pig, grandpa pig, and daddy pig. Or did you think they were saying something else?
No, these no, but in some parts, for example, I didn't understand it was talking about some episodes in particular.
Okay, fair enough. So Windy Castle should probably be like that, shouldn't it? Probably be in Windy Castle. And maybe you said maybe in Windy Castle at a particular place where they went. In Daddy Pig puts up a picture.
Yeah,
Yeah, again. Okay, that's fair enough. Good. Yeah. Okay. But it's a little bit longer than some of the other ones, but the language itself, the words are not as complex normally as we would get in C1. We'd expect to get somewhat more difficult words, I think. Okay, what does it mean? Oh. What does it mean here right at the end? Everybody rolling around on the floor. What does that mean? Why are people rolling around on the floor?
eh, s- se parten de la risa en el suelo.
Sorry?
Se caen al suelo de la risa.
Yeah, yeah. They're laughing, of course. Excellent. Okay, very good. Yeah, they're rolling on the floor because they're laughing so much. Absolutely. Good. Yeah, rolling on the floor. Okay. Anyway, there we are. Okay, let's continue. Let's talk about Peppa Pig. There we go. Question: why is Peppa Pig compared to the Simpsons? What is the similarity between Peppa Pig and the Simpsons? Anybody?
They are a family
They're a family.
with one boy and one girl.
One
Have
boy and one
some
girl.
twos.
Mm-hmm.
And
Anything
I don't know
else?
because I didn't watch Peppa Pig.
Because you didn't watch Peppa Pig. Okay. All right.
Never.
What
The
was
irony, the ironic views of the society.
the ironic views
Yeah, of the society.
of society? Absolutely. And what about the father figure? What's the name of the father in The Simpsons?
Homer.
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 Yeah. And is Homer similar to Daddy Pig in any way?
Yeah,
Why? What's the
yeah. It's
similarity?
they are both clumsy.
Clumsy.
They are
Did,
both clumsy.
look at that word. That's a fantastic word. Let me write it in the chat box. Okay? Because we said they're rubbish at doing something, but we said clumsy. All right? Clumsy. Yeah. Clumsy, which means really, Jimena says the vocabulary was confusing. Of course, it's a dictation. That's why we have dictations to confuse everybody. Okay. So clumsy, which is a difficult word to explain. Maybe you can just translate it in Spanish. What's clumsy?
Torpe.
Yeah, torpe. There we are. Okay, good. So look, we've got some
Those
reading here. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What I want you to do is to decide are the comments for or against Peppa Pig? Are they for or against? Read the first one. Read the first one. Is it for or against?
It is for.
Wow, there we go. I mean, this is the easiest one, isn't it? I think it's a great show. Of course, it's for. We could read that in the first line. There was we don't even have to read the rest. You see? You see, we've read it. We've seen in the first line. Yep, this is absolute. We can go on now to number 2. So when we're doing our reading, we take the low hanging fruit, remember, the easy ones, and then move on. Okay. So that was a very quick one. Okay. Look at the rest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and decide. Okay. I want you to read them all and decide if they are in favor or against. Okay. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that. I'll give you 3 minutes now to read it all and decide if they are for or against. Okay. So 3 minutes beginning now. I'll turn myself off. All right. Back now, back on. Okay, then. So here we go. Number 2, which says my 5-year-old, okay, 5-year-old daughter loves it. Is that for or against?
Favor.
For.
For, okay. So no need to worry about violence. There we go. So that is for. Okay. What about number 3 then here? Is that for or against?
Against.
Against. Look, my son
Against.
turned into a terror. So that's against. Yeah. What about the 4th one? For or against?
Against.
Against.
Right, it's inappropriate. Okay. And my daughter becomes rude and bossy. Rude and bossy after watching. Okay. Next one, for or against?
Against.
Against. Yeah.
Against.
Against. This is more difficult. Okay. This is more difficult. Okay.
Ay, mira, como difícil lo tenía bien.
Okay. But this is definitely against this. I've never been the kind of mum to obsessively monitor, but this threw me for a loop. Okay. Okay, this threw me for a loop, which is a negative expression.
What's the
Right.
meaning of this expression?
It surprised me. It surprised me. It disappointed me. So it surprised me in a very bad way. And the next one, for or against?
For.
Oh,
Against.
It's not really for and not really against, is it? So I would hardly call it harmful. So I would not call it harmful.
More or less for, but it's only in between.
A little bit in between. Yes, definitely. Okay.
no, I think it's for.
It's
I think
for.
it's not bad. The
Okay.
meaning is it's not bad because the responsible, the father, the parents are responsible for children behaviors.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. Well, no, it says the parents are responsible or the teachers are responsible. So who's more responsible? Okay. So yeah. Okay, that's good. Oh, Angelica's coming again. Another one. All right then. I think the simplicity of this show. Oh, sorry. The next one then. Is that for or against?
For.
For. Helps
For.
kids to learn. Helps kids to learn. Okay. And the final one.
Against.
Against.
She's a bully. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So we don't have to read everything, do we? We only need a few words to tell us. We only need a few words to tell us. Okay, we're going to talk about some animals. We're going to talk about some animals now. Okay. Need to read this, please. Okay. Very easy. So I have to change something here because it's not. Okay. Reading. Well, you tell me which animals are mentioned below and which order are they in as regards intelligence? So this time we don't have individual questions. So this time our reading has to be a little bit different. We do actually have to read it. We have to read all of it. But if we're going to read all of it, we don't start at the beginning. We have to remember we have to do our scanning and skimming. So that means first, try to identify the animals, please. There are 5 animals. And then I want you to write them in the order of intelligence, which is mentioned in the text. Not your opinion, please, not your opinion, but in the order which is mentioned in the text. Okay, so I'll give you 3 minutes to do this. Should be quite easy first to to identify the animals. Okay, all right. Now you've identified the animals, which is very good. And very good. Okay, so Alicia and Jimena are very good. And Sandra, of course. Yeah. So number 1 was rats. How do we know? Because down here it says, this is all we really have to read, isn't it? That's all. I rate mules second to rats. And the mule is offered by a cat, a dog, and a horse. There we go. That's it. We only had to read the one sentence. We did not have to read everything, did we? So good. Yeah, Angelica, 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 and everybody else. Excellent. Good. So that was very, very good. Why do you think, let's say, why do you think that the rat is the most intelligent? Does anybody agree? Would anybody like to defend the rat? Do you agree that the rat is the most intelligent animal? Let's have a discussion. Come on, let's have a
I
discussion.
think
Angelica, yes,
I
please.
think there are different types of intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we are talking about the brain, like brain intelligence, to know which button they have to put or something like that, they are rats.
Mm-hmm.
But then maybe cats are intelligence because they can go in a very straight or thin wall.
Mm-hmm.
Then dogs have, I think, emotional intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
and they can look for people or search people. And then horse, they are very they are very intelligent um, by um, um, I, looking for their family. Like um, they look for to be in a group.
Okay. All right. So you say there's different kinds of intelligence. Okay.
Yes.
Which would you think? There we are. Pietro, which do you think is the most intelligent animal, please? You must speak. The most intelligent animal today with your microphone.
Sorry, I would have said dog, but it's. I found this short article very interesting uh, because it talks about it sees intelligence as the ability to adapt to the environment, and it's a it's a thing we as humans should do more.
Yeah, possibly. Yep. Okay. Yep, definitely with our environment. Okay, let's continue then. Here are the reasons. We are a rat, mule, cats, dogs, and a horse. Yep, of course, in the order of the intelligence. What I want you to do is I want you to read. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want you to decide which is about which animal. So each of these descriptions is about one of the animals. Okay. So again, let's have a bit of time. But what I would like you to do is to identify the positive and the negative features. All right. So which is this about? Which animal is it? What are the positive features in the text? And what are the negative features in the text, please? Okay. Okay, all right. So we've had a look. And let's see. So number one, number one, what animal is this? Number one. Is that the rat, the mule, the cat, the dog, or the horse?
Mule.
So this is the mule. Okay. So this is number one. Okay. What are the what are the positive features of the mule?
Doesn't eat too much.
Okay, good. Look, that's very good.
Uh,
So he won't eat too much. Good. Good. Doesn't eat too much.
it does only things. It does only things which he thinks it's capable of.
Okay, will not try to do
And
anything. Yep, very good. And
he
more.
will work for you patiently for years.
And he will work patiently for years. Okay, those are three positive things about the mule. And what about negative things?
For the chance to kill you.
Ah, okay, so he will work for the chance to kick you. Okay, that he will be patient, but he really wants to kick you. Okay, and number two, which one is this then? Anybody?
Cat.
Rat.
The rat. Okay. Any positive features? Anything positive about the rat? Okay, so thank you, Anna and Angelica and Sandra. Yeah, it's the rat and Jimena. Good. What are the positive features?
Known.
None. And what are the negative features?
Everything.
Well, everything. What about this then? Is a cannibal. That's pretty negative, isn't it? Okay. And he doesn't help with anything. Okay. Without helping. So quite negative. Good. What about this one? Next one. Here. That's the which one is that? The dog. Dog, thank you. Okay, Jimena. Jimena, so why is it the dog? What are the good things about the dog?
Because it is um, like a parasite with you, but in the good side. Like you can be so silly or not so much intelligence, but he will love you. Is
Okay,
what I understand.
good. But these, remember the positive features, the courageous, faithful, monogamous, devotion. Wow, excellent.
More passionate.
But what about the negative features?
The last one, he's a failure. It's that he is a psychopath. Sycophant.
Sycophant and a parasite. What's a sycophant?
I don't know. I have understand psychopath.
Not psychopath. No. So
I don't know.
what's a sycophant, please? Anybody? Any idea? A sycophant is somebody who always says yes. Okay? A sycophant always agrees with you, doesn't want to argue. Okay? Right then. And
that is negative?
oh, it's negative. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Because it means somebody who does not have a strong mind, has a very weak mind, and is very easy to influence.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And so number 4 then. Number 4 is okay, Jimena says it's a horse. Yep. Everybody's a horse. Sandra and Christina, also a horse. Okay. What are some of the good points about the horse? What are some of the positive things about the horse? Strong. Yeah, absolutely. Strong. It can run. There we go. Run far and run fast. Yep, those are good. It can jump. Good. And what are the negative things? Eat himself. No, it won't eat himself. It says it will eat himself to death. Eat himself to death, which means it would keep on eating and eating and eating until it dies. Okay, so to eat yourself to death. All right then. And then, all right then. And the qualities there is timidity and fear. Okay, so it is timid and it is afraid, it is scared. So those are the negative features. And finally, of course, then we have, what's the last one? A cat. Okay. And there's nothing positive about a cat. Okay. All negative. All negative. But tell me some of the negative features of the cat. The parasite. Yeah. Okay. So the parasite. Completely dependent. Yeah. Good.
I don't know if it's true because cats are very, very dependent. Or
Yeah.
like independent, not dependent.
Okay, but when they come into your house, then they want food and they want to drink and they want to be, they want attention all the time, I suppose.
Yes, but they can survive by their own.
They probably couldn't they? Yeah, I'm sure they could survive alone. Okay. All right.
It depends on if it is a traditional um, house with a rear garden in England, for instance,
Uh-huh.
or if it is a flat in the city center. It's absolutely different.
It depends very much. Absolutely. Okay. But this was one person's. Now, what's the point? What look at these reading. That's a good reading exercise. Okay. Good reading exercise. Why? Because all we have to do to answer the question is very clear. And all we have to do is say, is it for or against? And we can identify very quickly. Good reading exercise. Good reading exercise. The question is very clear. Which order are they in? And the answer is very clear. Okay? Rats, mules, cats, dogs, and horses. Very, very clear. The good reading exercise. This is a very bad reading exercise. Because here, what we have to do is what we call our intensive reading. Our intensive reading. We read and read and read and read again. So normally, remember, in our exam, we have this kind, where what you need to do is identify very quickly. Okay? And we don't want to spend too much time reading everything. So we're saying, good question, difficult question, difficult question. Okay. Right, okay. Any questions about the reading? Remember, 30 minutes. Remember, you have about 40 minutes. Oh, it's Mr. Marlene. It's Marlene's friend came in. Sorry, excuse me. Okay. So, any questions about the reading? Remember, you normally have 40 minutes, okay? But we said use 30 minutes and then have 10 minutes extra, please. And then have 10 minutes extra so that you can read it again. Remember, first, do all the easy questions. Okay, you've got the paper. You can go over and over and over. All right, and then you can look back. That's very important. And then use 10 minutes to look again. Okay, so we'll practice again. We'll have another session on reading. Okay, further on. So remember our speaking. Speak slowly. Use your intonation. No Spanglish. Use your time well when you're speaking. Look at you won't have a watch, but remember you have to speak for 2 minutes. And the most difficult part of the speaking is the photographs, because you have to speak for 1 minute. Okay? And you have to fill that minute. And remember, when we're speaking about the photographs, we go from the bottom up, not from the top down. So remember, it's easier to describe the individual elements of the photograph or the picture and then go up, okay, and give your final opinion. Now, Louise will be giving you some speaking topics and some speaking practice. And I want her to do it because I will probably be the interviewer for your exam, probably, but not 100%. So imagine we're talking and talking and talking, and on the final day, it's somebody else. So it might be a bit of a surprise. So that's why I want you to practice with Louise again, okay, today. Right, she'll be coming in a moment. Right, and there you go. Wow. Speak slowly, listen, look and listen to the question. When I ask you, we're going to have a discussion. And I say, schools today are too comfortable. Schools today are too comfortable for children. They have heating and windows and electric light and tables. This is too comfortable. Children don't need to be this comfortable at school. What do you think? What do you think? There we go. Any teachers here? Is anybody a teacher? Okay, Alicia, what do you think?
I think that.
No. What do you think?
Eh?
What do you think? Look at the screen.
Ah,
I don't know.
What does it say on the screen?
That's an interesting question. I'm a teacher, you know.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Yes. Well, tell me.
Uh, for example, I know that children go better than a few years ago, but nowadays we don't have all comfortable tables or materials to work because it's a process and we need to go in a little in a little ways, or I think that governments say more than they really do.
Okay, but generally schools are very comfortable places, don't you think?
Yes, but I think that o sea, we need more comfortable things because the society go very fast, and the schools no are
Hmm.
very traditionally in a lot of cases.
But this is good that schools have a different atmosphere, are quite difficult, quite different, you know?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, that schools do not have to reflect society. Schools must be specifically as a place where people go to study. So it's not necessary to be
Mm.
it's not necessary to be comfortable.
Is very, I think that is very necessary because the education is the base of our society. So if we don't have a good education and comfortable teachers or good teachers, we don't go in the future. We don't have a good persons in our society.
Okay, well, that's a possibility. Okay, then there we go. Angelica, are you there? The real Angelica?
Yes, I am here.
You are there. Okay. Angelica, here's a question. What do you think if you have children at home? Is it good to have pets at home, do you think? What do you think if you have
Um,
children?
that's an interesting question. I have dog, you know.
Oh, really? You have a dog? Oh, how interesting. Okay. Now we can really have a discussion, can't we? Yeah? Okay, so
Yeah.
tell me. So what do you think?
So in my home, there's an ongoing debate on this topic because my father and mother didn't want to have any dog, but then when we take one, um, he the my mom loves too much my my dog Aria, but well, my dad is a bit he respects that dogs are a thing and humans another thing. But
Okay.
I
But but
think
but 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 that's normal. You wouldn't want a dog to be part of your family, would you?
mhm. I think it's part of my family, of course.
But but
And
but, but wait, a dog's an animal, please.
but the thing is, the when you have one, become a part of your family because it's more important your dog, your own dog, than a person you don't know, for example.
You mean a dog is more important than a
Of
person?
course. Yes, my dog is
Yeah.
more important than a person that I don't know. If I have to choose, I always choose my dog.
But hold on a minute. And do you think your dog would choose you, or would
Of
it
course.
choose to be with other dogs?
No. My dog, every time I go out, my dog always choose me. So I'm pretty sure.
Okay, maybe the dog is like the mule. He's just waiting to bite you.
No. I sometimes I think about that, like, if my dog loves me because I give him food. But no, I know she loves me because
Okay.
she's always looking for me.
Always looking for food, you mean?
And for me to give her food.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
And what one last one then. So let's see. Is it better to live in a hot country or a very cold country? What do you think? I mean, living in a cold country really has a lot of disadvantages. What do you think, Maria Painador? What do you think? Better to live in a hot country or a
I
cold
that's
country?
already right.
Hi.
It's an interesting question. I live in a igloo,
You do?
you know.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I live in Segovia, so it's really cold in winter. Now, today is a rainy day, and it's horrible the wind today, and it's really windy. And I love running, so I prefer the coldest place because here is difficult to do a lot of things in winter. But in summer it's great, but no in winter because
But
we went 1 week ago to the Palmas in Gran Canaria, and we want to live there. We are dreaming about this because it's like the weather is perfect and you can run and you can do a lot of things outside, and we prefer the hottest places than here. This is really cold.
well, of course, but it's lovely when it's hot to have a holiday or to go and play tennis or do these things. But really, you have to work most of the time. And so if you're living in a beautiful place with a lovely climate, maybe it's more difficult to work.
Depends. I think that if the weather is good, you work better because your humor is better. So I think that for me, the sun is like a life. So if you have the sun in a sunny day, for your humor and for everything is better. So your work is better if it's sunny. If you are inside of the places, you have light, but the light is natural light, natural light, no the artificial light. So I prefer the better weather.
Well, but if you're living in some of these very hot places now with climate change, this is starting to affect things like the water supply, um, many other things, even, whether plants can grow. So it's not always the best kind of environment to live in.
Yeah, I think that sometimes it's difficult. Yeah, it's true. Sometimes it's really difficult because the grades in summer or in May maybe are really hotter in the classes for the children, for everybody. So yeah, maybe sometimes are really difficult to do something inside of the places if it's really hot. But
And
if it's cold, it's a cold place. It's difficult too sometimes. So I don't know. I prefer the good weather, but for example, in Canarias, the weather is always it's not too hot and not too cold. So I think that this is the for me the perfect time.
the perfect sort of weather. Okay, thank you. Okay, good.
You're welcome.
So here Louise is with us. Louise is
Hi,
kind. Hi, how are you?
fine and you?
Good, good. What do you think about living with a dog? Can you imagine such a silly thing?
I'm definitely opposing your view. I live with a dog, so yeah, I think it's a good idea.
And do you think it's easier to live with a dog or to live with other people?
Easier to live with a dog, less complicated.
Okay, we agree. Okay, we agree on that.
The only
Absolutely.
problem is they can't clean up after themselves. That's the only con, I would say.
Okay, so they don't clean up, and even if they could clean up, would they clean up if they knew that you were going to clean up after them? So,
Probably
okay,
not.
probably not. Okay, so we've been here. Wow, we've been here for 2 hours doing some reading and talking and a dictation and so on. So now Louise is going to give you some practice specifically about the speaking part of the exam. So you get an idea and also you get used to speaking to somebody else. Okay. She has also got the list of topics and subjects which are going to be in your exam on the 12th of December. Okay, so it's really important that you make a note whether you're at level 3, which is B2, or level 4, which is C1. Make a note of all those things. Okay. All right. So Louise, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, so I'm from South Africa. I've been in Spain for almost 15 years. I live on the North Coast in Bilbao, and I teach mostly online, so I don't really need to go anywhere during the day.
And so what do you do with the rest of your time if, you know?
So I go to CrossFit 3 times a week. I've just started cello lessons in September, and Afro dance, which I started just before the summer as well. And then I have a collection of other hobbies as well. I go climbing now and then. I play the piano. So yeah, I don't get bored ever.
Would you describe yourself as an outdoors person or more a sort of indoorsy sort of person?
Both. It kind of depends on the weather and my mood. It depends because there are things I like doing indoors and other things I like that you typically would do outdoors. So depends on the day.
But since if you live in the north of Spain, I think it tends to rain a lot more than other
Not as
places.
much, not as much as it used to, thanks to climate change. At least where I live around Bilbao, it really doesn't rain that much anymore. We've barely had any rain so far this autumn. So no, you can still do stuff outdoors until end of November easily, sometimes even in December. So yeah, it just depends on the year.
Okay, so the best thing is being able to have the choice a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so listen, we'll be taking a short break. Okay, and if you like, I mean, Louise, can you come back or take over at like 6:45? Is that okay?
6:45 in 10 minutes, perfect. Yeah.
Yep, and then go on until 7:45, and then we'll
Okay.
finish. Okay, and then afterwards, what I will do
Okay.
is, Louise, I'll make you the host now.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, and we'll just do a couple
Mm-hmm.
of things. There we go. So you're going to be the host.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Right. So can you still hear me?
Yes, yes, I can still hear you.
Oh, okay, good. All right. And everybody else. So what we'll do is take a short break now, take like a 10-minute break. Everybody go and have a cup of tea. You can talk to your dogs or your cats. If anybody's dog or cat answers them back, let us know or bring them online, to show us how well they're speaking English. And if not, I will see you in a couple of weeks. I will record. This is still recording. And so when we finish the class, I will post the recording online so that we can see it. Okay?
Yep. Josh, your
Okay.
throat. Okay, you broke up a little bit your audio for a second there.
Okie dokie. Okay, so we'll just take a 10-minute break, and then I'll hand you over to Louise. Is that all right?
Okay.
Okay, so go and have a cup of coffee or something
Perfect.
now. All right, we'll be back in a
Thank you.
moment. All right, then.